Welcome to the program. Today we'll talk markets and the global economy. We'll look at Vocus and Channel 10. I'm Marty Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money. Paul, great day on the market yesterday. The big question is, have we found a bottom yet?
Well, I think I probably have, Marty. I didn't see a 95-point rise coming by any means yesterday.
I think everyone was pretty shocked.
Yeah, look, it started up, which again was the first shock. It was up about 20 points within 10 minutes and went up throughout the day. Added 15 points in the last 5 minutes between the 4 o'clock close and the aftermarket match. So real strength in the banks, up 2.5%. Commonwealth Bank.
Where do you think the buying was coming from? Offshore?
No, I think yesterday, because the dollar didn't move much, my guess was a large local fund manager saying, banks were cheap, I'm going to put some money back into the market. We know all the institutions have been underweight the Australian market largely because they're getting lots of cash. Everyone's been a little bit bearish. There's concerns about the health of the consumer and banks being a little bit out of favour with the bank tax. We've had the resources, who knows where the commodity prices are going.
The Amazon threat.
The Amazon threat for retailers. So it's been hard to find value in the Australian market. I've been in that school too. My guess is that we may have found a temporary bottom, but I don't think we've got enough power to get through 6,000 until we really see some company
Are we in
earnings.
concerning territory though? Because we look at sort of what's happened over the last month and a half. We're down over 5%.
Yep.
On the flip side, the US is up 2%. So if and the Dow's at an all-time high now. Are we in? Can the Dow push further, and will that drag us along, or do you have concerns about the US?
I don't have super concerns about the US, but inevitably we'll follow whatever the US does. It's just that we've been an underperforming market. So
it's been the way since the GFC, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the US sitting concerned about technology stocks has a bit of a scary feel to it. It reminds me a bit like of 1999, so just got to be a little bit careful about that.
They came back last night, though.
They came back a little bit last night. So, I mean, I'm not a super bull on the US, but I've been less bullish on the Australian market, more so for underperformance. But I think we need earnings data, and we'll get that in August. So my guess is we may have found a temporary bottom. I don't think we've got enough power to get through 6,000. I reckon we're in a trading range, but we've probably seen a bottom established last Friday.
Other big global news before we go to the next topic: Fed's meeting tonight or Thursday morning, our time, Wednesday their time. Rate rise pretty much a certainty.
I think a rate rise is a certainty. Everyone expects that. I think the two things people are looking for from tonight's statement, we'll get it about 4 a.m. I think our time on Thursday morning in the Eastern Standard Time in Australia, is any hints as to whether another rate rise is on the card in September. The market's been tracking back on whether a third increase was going to happen in calendar 2017, so any hints from the Fed's thinking about that. The other thing they're watching, of course, is the steps the Fed is taking to unwind its balance sheet, and we'll probably get some more clarification about just how the Fed expects to do that. So they're the two things out of tomorrow's statement.
Yeah.
Rate rise, absolutely foregone conclusion. So the market will look at more of those two aspects.
Now, a company we're going to talk about, which is well known to many Australians, probably not a lot of people own it, but still it's one of those well-known companies. Obviously, Channel 10 talks about them, going into voluntary administration. The refinancing by the major shareholders not going to go through. Is that a certainty, VA?
I think it's almost a certainty we'll go into administration later in the week. Look, that's bad for existing shareholders. You can kiss your 10 shares goodbye, I think.
It could be okay for some of the major shareholders who want to buy it, though.
Yeah, the major shareholders are obviously,
Gordon and/or Murdoch.
Gordon and/or Murdoch. You think it's some, 10 will have to, its debt matures in December, right? And it's currently guaranteed by three of the, James Packer, Lachlan Murdoch and Bruce Gordon are the guarantors. The bank actually needs a bigger facility. The bank wants to lock that in. The existing shareholders are saying we're not going to extend, we're not going to increase our guarantee.
In December, isn't it?
In December, but if that's all known, the directors almost have no choice but to put it into administration, so it gives you a chance to renegotiate those things and also renegotiate its arrangements with creditors and studios in the US and so on. My guess is something will happen by Thursday, probably administration. That means bad news for every other shareholder, but somehow I suspect the big shareholders will work out an arrangement with the financiers and they'll come out on top. So bad news for if you're a shareholder in 10, probably not such bad news for either the Bruce Gordon or the Murdochs.
Could be good for News Corp shareholders.
Could be good for News Corp shareholders in the long term. 10 will still keep operating. There's no doubt about it. It's not going to stop operating. It'll go into administration and they'll renegotiate.
Now, before we run out of time, Vocus.
Yeah, Vocus out this morning with an investor strategy day, also partly in response to the takeover or the offer from KKR last Friday.
That was predicted in the Switzer Super report
It
too,
was
wasn't
predicted in the Switzer Super report. In fact, 2 weeks ago we said Vocus was a sitting duck for a takeover. KKR has made a highly conditional offer at $3.50. Shares went above it late on Friday.
That's about 30%, didn't they?
Yeah, but Vocus board is fighting this. They've come out this morning, reconfirmed guidance for fiscal year 17, said everything's okay, looking not too bad. You've got to guess that the stock will stay above the indicative offer. And obviously what the board is hoping for is a further offer to come from some other party. So don't give up on Vocus just yet, but it was always going to be a target for a takeover.
That's all we've got time for. I'm Marty Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money.